And looks like walks is an issue with him. And he's up against Price. So, I mean, I feel like, we have the advantage in that start. I mean, until proven otherwise, I mean, Price has been very, very good. I mean, let's see, his last three. Yeah, he's got a 2.21 ERA. And, so I don't know. I mean, I think the Red Sox are, and they got Porcello going game 2, Erod game 3. Estrada is in their game 2 as well, and yeah, he's been scuffling his last few starts. The one thing about this team is I think they're a top 5 home run hitting team still.
All they do is hit home runs, though. That's all they do.
Yeah.
It's home runs or nothing.
Right. So who is Sam Gallaviglio? He's their number 5 starter, I guess.
I don't know that one. I don't know that name.
Yeah, he's pitching very well though. He's only made 2 starts. Has a he's got a 2-something ERA, so he's up.
I wonder who spot he took.
Let's see.
Wasn't J.A. Happ. Stroman. That's who it was.
Oh, he went on the DL, didn't he?
He went on the DL.
Yeah, so that's...
Oh, that's another guy that might be on the trade market. Is Stroman.
Stay away from that guy.
Yeah, I know. Well, Mark DeRoche said that he could see him going to the Phillies or the Braves. I'm like, no.
Yeah, not for anyone significant anyway.
No, that's a guy that has great stuff, but he's like Aaron Sanchez. That's the problem with the Blue Jays. They have 2 guys who are 95 to 98 sinker ball pitchers with 1 pitch. They have 1 pitch.
Yeah, I mean, he was projected. He was never a high strikeout guy, right? Stroman, like, I don't know if he was
in college or at like the major league level.
Yeah, as a pro, like he wasn't. Okay. He wasn't projected to be.
No. He was compared to like a poor man's Derek Lowe, if that makes sense.
Oh, really? Oh,
well, I mean, in terms of the stuff, heavy sinker, that sweeping slider. It's just that Stroman's 5'8" and Derek Lowe is what, 6'5", 6'4"?
Probably, yeah. He was a big boy.
Maybe 260.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought he was projected to be a semi-upper, rotation guy, a 2 or a 3, but...
It's all about the command. That's the one thing he hasn't been able to get.
Right.
He lets his emotions... I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of his starts against the Red Sox, but I feel like every time I watch him pitch, he's like... I love the passion. I love players that show emotion, but he doesn't control it, and it affects him on the mound.
Right. And I mean, he struggles against you guys as well, it seems like.
Oh, him and Price, they get beat up they get beat up like a rag doll.
Yeah. Yeah, Toronto must be just so disappointed with him. I just looked finally, the Celtics lost. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Just rub it in. The Celtics lost.
I'm not going to listen to much sports radio this week, but yeah, Toronto. I don't know. I mean, is his value high right now? Like, I mean, when is his value going to peak for him to be traded?
Who, Stroman's?
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends on if Toronto. I mean, I don't think they're going to trade him right now unless they get offered a lot, which they're not. So they're better off just holding on to him until. I mean, prime example. Did you watch the World Baseball Classic when he pitched in that final game?
I did, and I remember him getting the start.
If he can pitch like that for them, then they'll trade him. He has to pitch like he did against Puerto Rico, because that was, and I'm dead serious when I say this, that was the best start of his major league career.
Yeah, he was really good.
He was nasty.
Yeah.
Like, that was the best I've ever seen him throw. And he hasn't been able to come even 50% of that this year.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, the command, and he seems like he's a bit of a head case in big moments. And I mean, even that postseason, what was that, 2015? He wasn't good at all. I think Estrada was their best pitcher on that run.
He was.
So, yeah. So it's not looking good for Toronto, I don't think, because I mean, even if they tried to move Donaldson, I mean, he basically has to be a DH, doesn't he?
I mean, Donaldson, I haven't seen any Toronto games lately, so I've been able to watch him throw. But if he can't throw to first base, he's a DH, DH first baseman.
Yeah.
Which then diminishes his value in terms of trading him. And on top of that, will affect his pocket because teams aren't going to pay 45, or not 45, but let's say 25 mil a year for a first base DH that can't even throw. I mean, you saw in the market. We talked about that.
Right. Yeah. And he's going to max out at right around what Encarnacion got, I believe.
I would say even less if he's not healthy.
Yeah, if he can't throw, because he's basically limiting himself, to the American League at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he plays first. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, looking at this series with Toronto, I think the Red Sox are just going to keep, with their probably 2 out of 3. And it's probably not going to go the way I expect because I thought for sure Sale was going to beat the Braves, and he didn't. And they got the win on Pomeranz's start. Which was odd. Yeah, I know. We fell behind early, and the bats came back. Mitch Moreland, I'm telling you, crazy. Guy's out of his mind right now.
Put Pomeranz in the bullpen.
Yeah, well, you know what?
And put Steven Wright in the rotation.
We probably should have talked about this earlier, but I kind of like Wright in the rotation because, in the bullpen, because if you look back to when he got activated, like the week leading up to that, this bullpen was terrible. Kimbrel blew a save, and you had the Smith controversy, and he's basically out for the year. And Kelly wasn't exactly sharp at points. Neither was Barnes, and Hembry's just been really inconsistent all year. And you had all that going on, and then Steven Wright comes back in and can go a few innings, and some of these guys are getting days off, and he's just safely handing those guys a lead, when he's brought in, and he's been a stabilizer. So
he's getting better every time.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a really good role, and it just seems like the rest of the bullpen's more relaxed and just more honed in now, and especially Barnes. I mean, I didn't see that coming.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been a solid 7th or 8th inning guy whenever they've called on him. And one guy, though, that could get some looks if things get really bad for Pomeranz is Hector Velasquez. And he was on the DL, but I kind of think that was more of a phantom type thing because...
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah, that was like 2 days before the Smith thing, which came out of nowhere. And you have, Velasquez, I just feel like he's just been consistent all year. And he was a 285 guy in the Mexican leagues, which for like 6 years, which obviously is probably not much better than AAA, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't really feel like that was a legit injury, and they didn't want to make a roster decision because I thought Heath Hembry was probably going to get DFA'd. Like I thought that would be the move, but they came up with a phantom injury. They didn't have to really make any roster decisions, and then Smith goes down with his thing, and Velasquez was brought right back in at the end of that 10 days, so he didn't need any extra time, and I just feel like he would be a good number 5 starter, and he doesn't rattle either. He's always pretty calm, and he's not very good at being brought in though. With runners on base. At least the few starts he has been. He came in for David Price that Texas game, and then Price left him 2 or 3 base runners, and that
was a long half inning.
Yeah, it sure was. Yeah, and I tweeted out, I said, no way Price starts against the Yankees, and I thought he was gonna, because I didn't think they'd wait that long to scratch him, but he did, and got on a plane and got diagnosed with carpal tunnel apparently. That's what I said today. I'm like, maybe Chris Sale has carpal tunnel.
I saw that. That was funny.
Yeah. He was
due for a clunker, though.
Yeah.
He always has one.
Scherzer had a terrible start against the Diamondbacks last September, I think, and he didn't even get out of the first inning. He was so bad, and he was fine after that, and it just happens. So Sale he's not gonna duplicate what he did last year. He'll never have another year like that for the rest of his career.
No.
But he's the only question mark is whether or not they can keep him healthy for for August and September.
Yeah, keep him fresh for the postseason and the Bullets too.
Yeah, exactly. But they did leave him in for 108 pitches the previous outing, so I don't know if that played into today or not. But they were protecting a really slim lead at that point, so I didn't really have a problem with it. And the bullpen at that point, hadn't quite settled down yet. The right effect wasn't really known at that point. So yeah, well, all right, man. We went way too long, as I do. Sometimes that's easier to do with one person than two. I notice. I don't know why.
Yeah, I had a blast though.
Yeah,
I could talk baseball all night.
Yeah, I could do it too. I had a 3-hour show once.
Did you?
I think it was the MLB preview edition. I did the playoff preview last off season. I had a Yankees writer come on to preview the American League with me, and then I had Trisha Garcia, who was writing for the Diamondbacks SB Nation site, and we talked some National League, and I had to keep the Yankees guy on long enough for that wild card game to finish because she was coming on right after that, and I'm just thinking like, oh shit, it's tied again.
Like every time, oh, it's tied, oh crap, oh darn.
I'm like, well, somebody win the fucking game. And
somebody hit it out already.
Yeah, exactly. And and then her team won, the Diamondbacks, and that's who I was rooting for anyway. But yeah, and then finally I cut the Yankees guy loose. But yeah, well, all right, man. I guess we'll wrap on that. But thanks for coming on. And,
no problem. This was a blast.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll have you on again real soon. Anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be in touch, and if we get the shit kicked out of us, don't be afraid to rub it in my face.
We'll be talking.
Okay. All right, man. Oh, actually, let's go through your stuff one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can be found on Twitter at _smoke_Saunders. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the Bristol Blues?
The Bristol Blues basically are a FCBL team. They're almost like the Cape Cod, except they're a little bit lower. They're a level below. But all, collegiate kids from Division 1, 2, and 3 play. And there's a bunch of scouts they watch, and it's all where the top talent is. I know when I first started broadcasting for the FCBL, Biggio's kid was, I think he played for the North Shore Navigators. Paul Quattro's son, Cal Quattro, pitched for Team Canada. He was against the Torrington Titans the one year I was with them. And it's just a bunch of former major leaguers, pitching coaches, everybody. It's just a great league, and if you have a chance to watch it, sometime this season, if yourself or if anyone's listening, just go on the Bristol Blues website. That's bristolbluesbaseball.com, and click on the Listen Now tab, and you'll be able to watch games from last season or this season that I'll be broadcasting.
Oh, nice.